want to talk to you about my MacBook Pro M5 base model. Last year, I bought a week or so before Black Friday the Lenovo Legion 7i, 32 gigabytes RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, 5070 version. Flash sale at Best Buy. I think, it was a machine hovering right around $2,000, $2,100. Well, I ended up getting it for like $1,700. I think I out the door with a new mouse and taxes. I think I walked out of there for $1,800. So I was really happy with the purchase. My wife had a month prior had purchased the Yoga 9i Pro. I fell in love with that computer right away. The OLED screen, the bigger real estate, because I was coming from a MacBook Pro M2 Pro chip, 14-inch, the OLED screen, the brightness, just the visuals alone were like, man, I need a screen like that. My vision isn't the greatest anymore. I need a little bit more real estate. So I was like, yeah, I need. So I went and I purchased the Lenovo Legion 7i, and you can watch my previous episodes and my conversations about that. I didn't start using it until right around Christmas time, like I think the day after Christmas, really. I left it in the box for about a month because I was using my MacBook Pro M2, just cleaning things up, getting ready to give it to our daughter for college. She was starting college again, so she needed a newer computer, and the Pro M2 chip is a fantastic chip. I had 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. For a college student, it's probably overkill. I didn't even push it to the limits. So again, I go in, now I'm into the PC world. And I was thinking the whole time, I have the iPad, I have the iPhone. My workflow is all geared towards the Mac Apple universe. I started using my Lenovo Legion for video editing and things like that, and streaming, doing interviews. And it just wasn't quite as user-friendly and seamless as the Mac. Well, I'm just gonna get used to it. It's no big deal. Or I'll get an iPad Pro. I'll sell my iPad Air M3. I'll use some of that money and I'll buy the iPad Pro. And then I think I could easily run a PC in tandem with an iPad Pro. That would be a perfect setup. Well, I started doing research. Probably bad news for my wife and bad news for my bank account. But the M5 chip was exactly the kind of chip that I think that would suit me. I'm not a power user and I'm not a passive user. I'm right in between. I needed to push it a little bit, but I'm not going to ever push a powerhouse computer like that to its limits, most likely. But I started listening to the experts, and they were talking about the RAM shortages, the impending doom. So I was like, oh man, this would actually be a wise purchase. Yes, I just have a brand new, beautiful PC gaming laptop that could do all the things that I needed to do. Realistically, I don't need to buy a Mac. I can get away from the Apple ecosystem and I'll be fine. But the shortages to me were a big thing, were a big issue. And I was looking at the prices and comparing them to PCs, and I could already see right around the middle to end of December, things were starting to really ramp up as far as, what the near future was going to hold. So I pulled the trigger right after the first of the year, and I purchased the base Pro M5. It was a 10-core GPU, CPU. It's nothing crazy like the Pro chips or the Max chips or anything like that. But for me, I'm not going to push a computer to its limits, most likely. And how I ensured that is I went all out on RAM, and I didn't go all out on storage, but I did up my storage from the last MacBook that I purchased. I went with the 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. That's what I'm on right now currently. And I'm very glad I did that. I am so happy that I made this purchase because of the shortages and because we don't know what the future is going to hold as far as computers are concerned. My PC is great. Hopefully, it gets me through these shortages and the rising prices of computers. I feel pretty safe for the next 3 to 5 years, where I won't have to worry about any of this. As long as my machines keep working, I'm going to be golden. If my PC goes out, I'm going to be okay. I have this Mac. I have this nice powerhouse of a machine. Looking at all the specs, looking at all the performance models, this machine is fantastic. It probably is better than my M2 Pro as far as specs are concerned. Probably, I mean, most likely. So far, it's done me really well. It's not even my daily driver anymore, but it runs through things like doing some video editing and some upscaling on videos and doing the things that I do with them. It's been great. Works great. I can tell it's a little snappier than my M2 Pro, and I've been really happy with everything that comes with this computer. The downside, it doesn't have Thunderbolt 5. I don't even utilize Thunderbolt 4 at this point. I would like to have the latest and greatest. Just for future-proof reasons. It just means that the computer is going to last longer. It's not going to be outdated in any way. So, but really, it's not a deal breaker for me. Sure, I would like Wi-Fi 7. My Lenovo Legion 7i has that. This doesn't. It's 6E or whatever you call it. Those are some downsides with these MacBooks, these base models. But at the end of the day, I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage. I'm going to be using this for a while. I don't think I'll probably end up needing another MacBook for another 4 years. If I do, it will be just for me purchasing it for fun purposes. It's just going to be me fear of missing out type of thing. I'm not going to need another machine for a while. People are still using the M1s and getting great performance out of them. So I don't foresee myself needing to upgrade for a while. It will only be a want if I do upgrade in less than 3 years. I think even in 3 years, this machine's going to be perfectly fine for my needs. I'm not really excited about the touchscreens, the OLED. Okay, I have an OLED, so maybe if I didn't have an OLED screen on my Lenovo Legion 7i, that would be something that would be enticing me. But I'm not really. I'm definitely not going to worry about the M6, and we'll see when the M7s come out. Maybe then. Maybe it will be like, oh, I can't live without that, right? But at least 3 years, I think I'm not going to upgrade. And if I do, it's because I have money to burn, and that's most likely not going to be the case. I hope there's a windfall somewhere, somehow, that I'm able to continue to make these crazy dumb purchases like I have in this last year. I feel safe. I feel good about the idea of me doing what I've done as far as making an effort on making wise purchases when it comes to computers. So I haven't completely left the Apple universe. So what I have found to be enjoyable is being in both the Mac and PC world. It's great. I mean, I get the best of both worlds, and no doubt about it. And now, as I will talk in the future, I'm in the Android world again. So Mac, PC, iPhone, Android. Um, so I love it. I'm covered on all angles. To the normal person, to somebody like my wife who doesn't care about tech, she would think it's just a waste. But for me, I enjoy being able to be covered on all angles. I enjoy using both types of platforms because I think the Mac world and the PC world have a lot to offer. And sometimes, what's good on a Mac isn't good on a PC and vice versa. So I've I've come to find out a lot of that. What has really surprised me is the PC is so much more enjoyable to use on a daily basis. Sure, that comes down to the machine itself, the OLED screen, the 16-inch real estate, the trackpad, the keyboard, the 254 gigahertz of refresh rate, just absolutely insane. So much fun to use, fun to navigate with, even just watching YouTube videos. Everything is great. What sucks about the computer is the battery life and the speakers. That's where this comes in. Battery life is insane. Just using my PC on a daily basis, then coming to use this, it's insane. It's just the battery life is insane. Like, I have it off the charger now. And yeah, it's gone down a little bit as far as me pushing it because I'm on Restream and I've got my webcam connected to it and my Lua Connect 6. And so, but yeah, I would have probably drained the battery by now, just doing what I've been doing on my PC. And this has barely gone down like 10, 15%. It's insane. Like, I can leave it off the charger for a day and come back and have half a battery and then do a bunch of stuff and still not having battery anxiety with this machine. Mac is so efficient at that sort of stuff. It is so great. If I was going to travel and I needed something, I needed to work on something or do something, I would probably have to bring my Mac because I wouldn't want to have to worry about plugging it in all the time. Like, I wonder how my wife's going to do it when we do have to go out of town. But she still needs to be connected to her work stuff, her business. And I was like, she's going to have to bring her big battery. It's not even like the nice little ergonomically correct battery like this MacBook Pro M5. Yeah, it's the base model, but still, the battery is just a quarter of the size of the Lenovo batteries, and so it's so efficient on that level, and it's just fantastic. And I do have to say, even though I love the OLED screen and it's just phenomenal, this mini LED screen here on the Pro M5 models is fantastic. It really is. It the screen brightness is great. Everything was really nice on the Macs. It's high quality, great stuff. It doesn't really lose out that much. But just scrolling around isn't as nice on my Mac as it is with the others. But like I said, there's give and take. The battery life is a huge deal. I don't lose performance unplugging this from the battery like you do with the PCs. And I just got to say that is a huge, huge winner from the MacBook. All right, well, That's all for now. I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching The Voices of the Enthusiasts. Please subscribe and like.